walk the streets with my swagger on, supernatural, facing a million opponents, and my role is to act alone. Lights, camera when the action's on. Where I roam is a battle zone, a vigilante in the catacombs. But I rock with a hot shot like a clock when it's cocked and popped and the lead is gone. People say that my head is gone, but it's
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Looks like we got a bit of lag. I didn't see the screen come up until just a little bit ago. I was waiting for it to come down. Welcome to Chat and Draw, Season 2, Episode 3. Very excited about this episode. Got a returning guest from Dear Creative coming over here. We're cross-platforming and everything, getting it in. And just in case you don't know who I am, let me tell you, I'm the publisher of Short Fuse Media Group, founder of Freestyle Comics, one half of the good, the bad, the nerdy, also going known by as the Super Mad Brother. But more importantly, I'm the most enthusiastic person in comics, and I'm your host here today and every day on this show called Chat and Draw. Chat and Draw is a real cool show that I really enjoy. I sit down with another creative, and I talk to them, chatting, discussing, having questions answered, while I draw their character. Hence, chat and draw. And giving you guys a different camera angle today. I kind of like this camera angle. My head's normally down a lot while I'm drawing, so I kind of wanted to give you guys more of an interesting look at what's going on here. Look at this. Got my orange Tic Tacs. I got my Freestyle Comics cup here. There's the Lord of the Rings playset in the background. And if you see them behind me, RoboCop on the shelf over there. Lots of toys over there. Have fun trying to figure them out or whatnot. But we're here for another episode. And I even got my James Abram lights going on in the background. It's an episode of Star Trek here. And I'm feeling frisky. All right, let me see here. All right, I want to make sure. All right, that's good. Yeah, so we're coming in live. So we got the tradition happening. You know what we do. We're bringing on an awesome guest, new creator. Well, we've seen him on Dear Creator, but he's new to Chat and Draw. But you know, when we bring somebody out,
here comes a new challenger.
Holla. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Thank you for having me on your show. It's a pleasure.
Oh, no problem.
I feel the love.
Always good times having you on here, man. So just to get everybody caught up real quick, we are with Season 2. We are premiering on Twitch. We are on Patreon. I've been trying to let people know that I am a comic book artist, obviously, drawing comic books or whatnot. And if you're looking to get a really good deal on your commissions and stuff, Patreon in the long run is going to be your best bet with me versus inboxing me and stuff. So check out the Patreon page. It's in the link on the Facebook link up there that you guys can check out. And I will also be flashing it through once we get done with this. But we're getting ready to dive into some stuff here. Onrie.
Yes, my brother.
Do I got you? All right, go ahead and tell us about you, who you are, and what are you doing, man? What brings you to Chat and Draw?
What brings me to Chat and Draw? Well, you, of course, asking me to be here, and it's such a pleasure because there's nowhere else I'd rather be right now. And who am I? I'm the writer, creator, and producer of the Yisunshin comic book series, which is a trilogy of comics about a Korean admiral that battled the Japanese in the 1500s. He was outnumbered 10-1 against them, and he beat them 23 times in a row and never lost a single battle, and this all actually happened. And I've been doing this now for about 10 years. This is my full-time swing. I'm going to conventions all across the country and selling my book. I've sold out at over 70 conventions. I've hand-sold over 100,000 books, and I did it all without a publisher. Well, I guess I am the publisher, but self-publishing it. Very limited distribution, just getting out there, shaking hands, hugging people, doing all that great stuff that we go to Comic-Con to do. So it's a pleasure being here today, Michael. Thank you for having me, brother.
Man, thank you for coming on.
I'm taken by what you're doing here.
And that's something when I first heard about you from my brother Victor, that's something that I was blown away by. When Victor Danderson is impressed with a fellow salesman of moving their book and their product, I listen. Because he was saying you were moving books out there, man. It was like Tic Tacs. You were just getting those books off your table and in people's hands.
Yeah, you know, I think, and you and I could both agree on this, you being the most passionate man in comics, passion goes a very long way. And when you commit yourself fully to displaying that passion to your audience, it comes across. Even if they don't buy your book, they still see that, like, wow, this guy's so committed. He's so crazy. He's committed to putting his stuff out there so that we can see it, so that, you know, we have a chance to experience it. And, you know, I really do think it's something that you and I were talking about this backstage. It's a community thing. You know, we all got to support and respect each other. And Victor, that's somebody I truly respect. We were, I just had him on my show a couple of days ago. We did our first show together in Phoenix back in 2014. And at that time, he was transitioning to other things. But you know, back then he was in Artist Alley right next to me, and you know, we both killed it. I mean, he has a lot of respect for me, but you know, that respect goes right back towards him. That's a guy who is a true showman. He brings his A game to whatever he does, and I have an immense amount of respect for him. And you know, the fact that he holds me in such high regard, well, it goes right back. You know, I hold all you guys in high regard.
Well, thank you very much, man. It's super appreciated.
Absolutely.
So tell us about who I am drawing today and the plug. Oh, also check out the ticker below. You can get comics right there. Yi Shun Shin can be purchased at the website right there below. He's got, what do you got? You're up to like 8 or 9 issues right now. 10?
Yeah. I'm working on issue 10 as we speak. Right as you know, you're doing this chat and draw. I figured I'd be doing something to draw too, so that you know, I got a little something to show people. You know, but but keep in mind that whatever I draw right now is most likely going to get changed 1,000 times, and hopefully I can get through it. But folks can go to our website, like you mentioned, yisunshin.com, and they can take advantage of 20% discount deals and free shipping on top of that. And I sign and personalize anything you purchase from me. So you can buy the first 9 issues right now for just $23. You get 9 comics for just $23. You don't have to pay a cent on shipping or signing. It's all free. You're saving $1 off the cover price of all 9 issues. And Stop.
This man is out here.
You're done.
This man's out here selling dreams. He said shipping's free. Shipping's free. 20% off. He's signing everything he sends you. Like, what? You have no excuse. Get to this website. Buy this book. I'm going to tell you something right now. I did. I got the hardback. I got the hardback trade. I'm in the midst of reading it right now, and I was very surprised. Like in the last quarter, like a quarterback going up, trying to drive it to the end zone. He changed the play on me. He called it audible. He's like, "We're not going to draw the hero in my book. We're drawing the villain." And then when I saw who it was, I was like, "Oh my goodness, that dude! I loved him instantly from the moment he came on scene." So besides the deals, and in case you're not listening, 20% off. Free shipping. He's signing it all. He'll get it out to you lickety split, because mine came and got here in like 4 days, man. So who are we drawing? Tell us about this character that you have laid out as the Darth Vader of this series.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, he's been known to be called the Korean Darth Vader. This dude's a fucking crazy motherfucker. So Baron Seo is the main villain of the Yi Sun-shin trilogy, and him and Yi Sun-shin have a past, and their last confrontation ended with Yi Sun-shin taking the Baron's eye and basically leaving him for dead. And since that happened, the Baron found himself in Japan, where he allied with the Japanese Supreme Warlord Hideyoshi Toyotomi, who wanted to take over Korea. That's what started this whole war. And obviously he needed spies. He needed, navigators to kind of make his way through the land, and people who knew what the layout was. And that was Baron Seo. And he actually was a historical figure. And we'll find out which historical figure in the Fallen Avenger graphic novel, which is the follow-up to the first trade right here, Warrior and Defender. But I've always found the villains to be far more interesting than the heroes, because the hero is only as good as the villain. And how do you take someone like Yi Sun-shin, who's the ultimate hero, and then bring him to a point where he can only be measured up against, a great villain? Like, everybody knows that anybody who looks up Yi Sun-shin knows that he was a great hero. How do you counterpoint that with a great villain? And obviously you got the Japanese samurai here, but we really didn't want to like pigeonhole the Japanese as being the bad guys who deserve to be punished and deserve to, be scrutinized, because we love Japanese people. In fact, we're very influenced by Japanese culture and everything. Nothing about Yi Sun-shin is devised to be divisive. So we wanted a villain that he was Korean. He was from the same country as Yi Sun-shin, and he's a spy. And what do spies do? They do whatever they need to do to get information. But aside from being a spy, he also has information, and he's also got an agenda. And his agenda is he wants to kill Yi Sun-shin. He sees himself as being very just and right for wanting revenge. He doesn't, really care about the what's going to happen in Korea. Like, Japan's taking over, great. Like a lot. In fact, historically speaking, when Japan first did invade Korea, things were so bad in Korea that the Korean civilians didn't even care that these people, the Japanese, this foreign military was invading their country. It was like they were like, what's the difference? Our life already sucks anyway. So it's very easy for someone like that to not really see that what he's doing is wrong. What he sees is that he's the hero. He thinks he's the good guy. And that to me is always made for an interesting dynamic. We see a villain that's not, just the bad guy who kicks the dog.
Arnie, I got to stop you because I got 3 people asking about buying the book right now.
Oh, right.
Haley, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you as always. Constant supporter. Love you.
Haley, you rock. You rock.
She's asking if there's a trade. You can go buy the trade at the website, yisunshin.com.
20% off
Danny,
on this bad boy.
Daniel and Danny need to know the checkout code to get the 20% off.
Oh, there's no checkout code. Everything's already factored in the price. So just check out. Yep, everything's there. Normally the trades cost $25. Just go in at 20. If you decide to go with the bundle issue sets, it's just you don't buy the individual issues. Just get the bundle sets. That factors in the price adjustment for those books.
Okay, that's how you guys do it. Shout out to Richard, Dontavius, Danny J. Quick, Chad, John Scooter Robertson, Daniel Calvin. Thank you for tuning in with us, guys.
Love you all, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's great to have an audience.
Yeah, and Danny J. Quick, yes. Team spoiler alert, Danny J. Quick. Where's my new sound that was inspired by Danny J. Quick?
Metal Gear Solid. There we go. Love it.
Yes, Danny. I am working on the big character piece now as I'm drawing the characters. I'm trying to save myself some time. I haven't decided how long this season's going to be. I know it's going to be spread out longer because that first season kind of flew by and it was a lot going on. But Danny J. picking up.
I gotta say, man, that trailer you made for your season 2 was great. I don't know how the hell you find the time to draw, make comics, do commissions, do all this. It's truly amazing.
Thank you, dude. I don't either. Like I said, my wife, as I've said before on our show, my wife, she gets me together to keep me going.
Yeah, I hear you. Mine does too, and we were talking too backstage because, you and I both, we love that con scene and, we really want to see it come back. And, it makes me realize just how much our wives have to put up with when we're out on the road doing our thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Hold up. Where is? What kind of blade are we dealing with here? I'm trying to
you know
see.
what? Actually, can you give him a butcher knife?
Yeah.
A butcher knife. And that's his weapon of choice. He has used swords before, but typically we have him using a butcher knife, and there's a reason for that. He's pretty psychotic, and it's not even that he's psychotic in a sense that he just kills anybody. I mean, you really gotta piss him off, and otherwise he's composed. And he's the kind of guy too that, you know. There's a part in our fourth issue where he's just chilling with this Japanese general who's been undefeated in combat, and he's got this track record. He's basically like the Magic Johnson of the Japanese Navy, and he's going up against an untested, unproven Michael Jordan, who's Isun Shin. And Wakizaka, he is just chilling with Baron Seo, who's got information on Isun Shin, and is basically telling him, like, look, you all you got to do is just mull through his small fleet, and you got it. This is in the bag for you. And he's basically licking the ass of this Japanese general, but they have this camaraderie with each other because they understand each other. And while all this is happening, while they're drinking and shit, Japanese soldiers are basically raping Korean women right in front of them, and neither of them seem to give a shit. It's all just happening right in front of them. And yeah, I mean, this guy just has absolutely no remorse for anything or anybody. He's just a complete and total dickhead.
Yeah, this dude's pretty evil, man. That opening scene introduction for him is like crazy, as he caught two of your generals getting it on. Two of the guy generals were getting it on.
Yeah.
They hadn't seen each other in however long through the fight. One of them had failed, which I thought was really cool, that like both these dudes are so tough. And then this one, immediately the doors get closed and he's shattered. And he's looking for forgiveness. He's trying to explain how he lost. And the other one, again, I'm terrible with names, is just chewing them out.
No worries. They got funky names. Not unlike Star Wars characters,
And he's like chewing them out. And then after the end of it, after chewing them out, he picks them up and said, "But I got you." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "What? All right." Like the love life is completely separated from the work life. There is no way to get it mixed up. Like, I still love you, but you messed up. So I thought that was really cool. But then your boy bust in. Mike is doing it on Twitch, Discord, and TikTok. Yeah, I just joined TikTok last night. But then he bust in and says, "If the Lord catches you and knows what you're doing, he'd have your head. You both answer to me now." And I'm like, and I have a feeling like he reported to them, but not no mo.
Mm-hmm. And the scene that follows that up when they see him next, he's basically decided that he's going to kill Isun Shin. And this is very early on in the series. In the second battle that Isun Shin fought, he got shot in the left arm. He survived, but the bullet, that area was a pretty sensitive area, and you could easily bleed out and die. So it's just right underneath your left arm, right over here. Not too far away from the heart, it's a sensitive area. And, when he got shot there, it's like, he barely, it meant a lot to it was pretty shattering. It's like, here's the leader. Here's the guy that is like the only person left who can defend Korea. He gets shot. He's out, and he came back and he finished that battle. But to set up for that, we got a scene where the Baron is basically doing target practice on Korean civilians dressed up in red robes, like what Isun Shin wore. These kinds of red robes here. And
shout out Richard Ruffin. Daniel Calvin already ordered volume 1, man. He ordered it.
I love it. Thank you. I will get your book out to you tomorrow. It is the top of my priority, and I haven't sold anything all week. It's driving me nuts. So I appreciate it. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for supporting me. It means so much. You're keeping the dream alive.
Danny J Quick said he loves where is it? He loves deals, so he's on the website right now.
I love it. We got deals all day.
Yeah, he said this sounds crazy. Good grief, this sounds crazy. Yeah, man, this book is crazy. Like, so when I first got it, I flipped through it just to get a sense of it, and your artist is crazy good. So, like, just the scale and scope of everything that's happening. This isn't just like a lot of one-on-one battles. These are like full-blown battles, and I want to make sure we didn't miss it. Yes, Silent Dreamer Haley says the first trade has a foreword by Stan Lee.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. I was trying to save that for Onrie to save, but Haley saw it, so I guess she's getting a copy.
Yeah. I usually, I like that to be a surprise. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's one thing. I didn't want it to be one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm going to tell it because I had Stan Lee write the foreword of my book. Like that's a huge honor, of course, but. The thing is, I want the work to speak for itself. I want you to buy the book and then realize as you buy it that it's like, oh, damn, it's got a foreword by Stan Lee. That's the icing on the cake and or the cherry on top, And, he was a great dude, man. Stan Lee was the shit. And you and I, Mike, we were talking about this and we still got to push Ted and Victor to do this and the other horsemen. We got to do a Stan Lee commemorative, panel at some point and, share some of our experiences and, like how he inspired us.
Oh, I am absolutely there for it, man. So as soon as we figure out how to do it on the schedule, I'm sure they're going to do it too. But I think that would be super, super fun.
Oh, absolutely. I like how your Baron's looking so far. You're having fun with this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I've been trying to I know who, everybody sends me their information on who I'm going to draw and stuff or whatnot. And I really try not to look at it until like an hour before the show or whatnot, because I want to come. I think the challenge comes in with having to draw it live and figure it out on the spot. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And just so you all know, I'm drawing too. I'm drawing the next scene of the book. I do the layouts for Yisun Shin, and my art really sucks. A big dick. I fucking suck. See right there.
Hey, no, don't worry about that, man. You're good. All you need to do is be able to convey.
Yeah, I just gotta. I gotta say. I convey to the artist exactly what's going on. And prior to that happening, I also worked very closely with my creative co-art. His name is David Anthony Kraft. He has a very heavy influence on this series. He has trained me. He has taught me. We work together. Because for us, we really want to put as much focus on the storytelling as possible. We work using the classic Marvel method where we do the art first and then we kind of work the story into it. But everything serves the story. We know where we're going on a general roadmap, but we tend to let the art kind of dictate and take us in directions that we may not think are possible, or may not have considered. When you're thinking just strictly in terms of like script, you're seeing things one way and then your artist is going to see it another. We want to be as close and on target when we're working between the script and the actual artwork so that everything's in line. And it's a very controlled process. It's a very slow process. It's a very grueling process because everything I'm going to draw right now is all going to get scrapped. My editor is going to come in and my co-writer is going to come in and they're going to tell me, exactly what needs to change, and by they, right. I mean, it's all the same person. It's Stack. So yeah, unless he has multiple personalities.
Here's the thing though. Your artist, I'm sure appreciates you doing the layouts. I did that for one of my artists. She never illustrated a book before. So she was real nervous about doing it. I said, look, I'll do the layouts. You just go over the pencils. And it worked out so well for her. So being able to have a plan already laid out for the art is, I know, speaking from the artist standpoint, is super appreciative. But then I can detour for that plan if I can come up with something better.
Absolutely. And I think that's what it's about. And, we just finished a page recently for our 10th issue, which we've been steadily working on. Eason Shin has seen two different artists. But what I really wanted to make sure of is that we had consistency throughout the entire series. Mm-hmm. And because I hate, I hate when you see an art style on the front, one art style on the cover of a book, and then it changes as you open up the inside of the book. It's very misleading to me. And that being said, Silent Dreamer 26, yes, I will absolutely tell you about Marx, because it's a total contradiction of everything I just said right now. Because Marx is the story of my grandfather's life. It's my second book. And this is the story of my grandfather's life. My grandfather was a Russian Jewish soldier who battled the Nazis during World War II. I never really learned his story, and he finally shared it with me when he was on his deathbed. And I had always had this intent of translating his life into the graphic novel format. And initially when I went into the production process of that, I had that same thinking of I wanted consistent artwork throughout the book. But what happened was the artist I settled on was working really slow. Because he had deadlines, he had gotten a new job, and things were kind of tough for him. So we brought a second artist on, and then I started to see a consistency. So if you can't do the same thing throughout, if you can't keep the same artist on board, at least have a consistency, plan, and make it so that there's a pattern to your madness. And so instead of having these artists do the whole book, or one artist do the whole book, I had three different artists tackle three different parts of my grandfather's life, and it all just melded together and came together really nicely. And this book's only $15. It's got no sequels or prequels to it, and just like with Eason Shin, I'll sign it for you as well. This Baron's looking real good, man. I'm loving it.
Hey, I'm having a lot of fun with this dude. I normally am super annoyed with drawing clothes, but this.
I'm sorry. Yes, I apologize for that. Hey, blame the Koreans for that.
No, you don't have to apologize, because that's also like one of the main reasons I did the show is to push myself as an artist to help me get better or whatnot. But I'm loving the layering of this dude's outfit. So it's like I'm really getting to play with wrinkles and try to figure out how to interpret this in my style while still keeping the flair of what you have.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a complicated process. And I mean, prior to even taking on this book, I had to do a ton of research. I mean, there was like about 2 years worth of research done, just on the subject matter. Is there any Russian or German used in Marx? Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, I speak fluent Russian and I can read in Russian. I wouldn't say there's much German in there, which oddly enough, my research took me to Germany, because this guy that my grandfather was in a Russian prison camp with, he moved his family to Berlin. So I spent the day in Berlin, and I write about that. It's actually in the book too. So yes, there's both Russian and German in the book. Yes, and yes.
All right,
we got him. You want Germans? We got him. Sorry, having too much fun on your show.
Oh wow, hey man, I just hit the big league. Somebody just advertised on my Twitch.
I know, dude. It's great.
Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers.
Dude, I want to be goddamn famous. I'll tell you that. I think we both want to become famous. I think we are famous. Fuck it, Mike. You and I, we're at the top of our game.
We're at the top of our game. I'll take it. Yep. Daniel says, Marx sounds really cool too. Interesting enough, in my family history, my great-grandfather was drafted into the SARS. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah, the SARS. Yeah, the SARS army. And during World War II or World War I, probably, right? Because in World War II, it was the communist regime. So yeah, for sure, that's insane.
Yeah, he's saying his grandfather had to be smuggled out.
No shit. That's crazy. Another thing too about there's this really good movie about the Russian Navy during World War I. And it was a Russian movie. It was called Admiral. and it was about this Russian admiral who he fought the Germans at sea during World War One. And I forgot where it was that they were fighting, but like he was a total fucking badass, and he basically fell in love with this woman. He got after the war ended, he was basically still in the military, but the movie's really about how he loses his power and gets killed by the communist uprising from, you know, because during World War One, Russia was fighting in the actual World War, but they were also, you know, the communist power was also rising up and all that stuff. So it was a pretty crazy time. That's crazy stuff in my home country. In Russia, government screws you, you know. It's like yeah. Look at that. That's beautiful. So Mike, what are you watching right now?
Oh, dude, what am I not watching right now?
You see the Last Dance? You watched The Last Dance yet?
I got one more episode left on that.
Okay, I'm on episode 6 right now. I am loving The Last Dance. I can't stop thinking about it or talking about it. You know, I love it.
Dude, Jordan is my favorite basketball player of all time.
Dude, his house is 20 minutes from me. His Highland Park estate is literally 20-minute drive from where I live. I grew up. Jordan was, and here's the thing I'll say about the Bulls. The Bulls were the Avengers of the 90s. They were worldwide. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, so I want to apologize because sometimes I get kind of caught up in these drawings.
No, it's cool, man. You're working. I'm working too. I'm just trying to, you know, I'm just not I don't take my drawing as seriously. You know what I mean? I ain't got a reputation to uphold as an artist, so it's my writing that gets everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out which hand is more effective to display this guy's personality. I got like 4 different arms in here right now, but I think I'm gonna go to the one where he's throwing the head out.
Oh, okay, right on.
You said he liked the butcher knife, so I kind of liked having his hand kind of like on the back hilt of it, kind of like he's soothing it out. But then I had this arm back here where he's like in a walking motion, but I think I'm gonna go with the tossing out of this head.
You know what it's kind of starting to remind me of is that Frank Miller Wolverine cover. You know where he was fighting all them ninjas?
Yeah.
It's just kind of cool to see because the one thing about it is I've been I control my production process so much that I neither Dak nor we really give other artists to kind of give their interpretations of our characters, and we've seen different stuff before when we were hunting for talent and stuff, but it's just fun to see somebody else just have their fun with these characters, and I think that's what this is really about too. There's a whole separate aspect of this, like when you're doing Kickstarters and you can get exclusives from other artists and bring their following along to help build your following. I think that says a lot. I mean, we talk about this a lot. Both you and I are all about supporting and working together. This is an example of how it's financially logical to do something like this, because once you finish with this, it's done, it's out there, but it's a Mike Watson piece of art portraying one of my characters, and that's a very powerful thing. I've been using the word powerful a lot. I'm just gonna fucking say it. It's a powerful thing.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Ain't nothing
absolutely
wrong.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I've been watching Last Dance a lot, and again, that's another thing too. That just shows you everything, because what were the Bulls? They were a team. Jordan was at the center of it, and yes, he was the legend and everything, but would he have been able to create a championship team if it was all about him? No, he wouldn't. He had to basically force the other players on the team to live up to the standards that he had for his vision of the franchise. And, luckily he was surrounded by good managers and people who had the same vision as him, Jerry Krause was saying in the first episode that, it takes a whole team to win a championship. And, it's not just about one player, and but one player's passion can go a really long way. And the way I see both you and Victor, you guys are both extremely passionate guys. Just all the stuff you guys are doing at Comic-Cons, all the stuff that you've been doing during this pandemic, keeping people entertained day and night, drawing shit nonstop. I mean, I don't know how you do it. You just take a break. You don't even eat. He just stops and pops some of those orange Tic Tacs. He's like, fuck it, food. I get everything in my orange Tic Tacs. Protein, carbohydrates, all that shit's in the orange Tic Tacs, whether it says it on the label or not.
It's there.
It's there. You better jump on it. So you got what you got? How many? You got 4 kids too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like 2, but like I don't know where the first one is. He's like in the other room. I just he's just there at this point. I want him to go back to school so bad, just for his own good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to suffer as I have suffered.
I've worked in schools doing teaching and stuff, and I know I had my ideas of teachers, and I've always respected teachers. I've seen what they go through with teaching kids and things like that, and it's a lot. It really is. But I've always had appreciation for them and respect for them and their job. It has obviously grown more now that I've had to, with my wife, both of us trying to teach our kids and finish up the school year for them. Dude, we need to pay teachers way, like Ari was saying this, but we need to pay them way more.
I think, no, you know what? I need to correct that for a second. Let's correct it. They need to pay us for the months that we spent with them, and we will give the savings unto them with trickle-down economics. We need to be paid to teach. That's all I'm saying. No, I agree with you. Jokes aside, I agree with you. I think educators, they deal with a lot. It's been, and the thing is they hold kids accountable. Right now, being at home, it's hard to hold your kid accountable when there's so many distractions and things we need to do. I mean, I wish I could be with my kid all day long, but I got this passion. I got to stay busy. We all got to do it, because this is all ending. And once it ends and we get back on that front line, people are going to be asking us, so what have you been up to? What have you been doing? And if I can still have a book in production, but if I didn't make any progress on it, that's an issue. We got to be making leaps and bounds no matter what we do.
I hear that, man. So I've been at this desk. I've been at this desk grinding and working.
Yeah, I don't think you ever leave it.
I do. I gotta sleep, and I gotta use the bathroom. So
Do you go out shopping? Who goes shopping in your house?
We both do.
Okay, right
on. Like I just went out today to go get some stuff. My wife is out right now to hit the store for groceries. We need to restock. Are you
guys open yet?
We have not a time limit, but there's a schedule. So our stores are open to like 8:30. There's only a certain amount of people that can be in the store at a time.
Yeah. When is your lockdown ending?
It looks like May 31st. Everything is going to be open, or most stuff will be back open.
Right on. And how do you feel? How do you feel about? Well, you and I were talking about it backstage, and they were just the other day. They announced this Tampa Bay Comic-Con is happening, and I really wanted to go forward safely. Now that it got the green light, and and I know a lot of people are really concerned about it and everything. I was actually thinking about doing it, but I think I'm gonna just sit out and wait on this one, just to see what happens, just to see how things go. I know some people kind of feel really they take this really seriously about exposure and jumping in too fast and things like that. And I definitely don't think we'll see shows like New York Comic-Con, but some of these smaller shows, why not?
Yeah, I'm up for getting back to some type of norm. I would love to do some shows. I'm not trying to do any shows right now, though. I think things need to be figured out. And even if I did do one, I would want to do one closer to home.
For sure.
but I think, you just got to take your precautions. You just got to, got to be very self-aware of, keeping your sanitizer, wiping your hands, knowing to cover your damn mouth and stuff when coughing and sneezing, things like that. But I am thirsty for some shows. I'm thirsty to get back out there, but I'm gonna bide my time. Like the meme, that Magneto meme that I've been seeing, where he says in the game of chess, you let the pawns go first. When he was talking to Juggernaut.
Well, yeah, and I think there's truth to that, because I wanted to be a pawn, and I talked to my wife about it, and my wife was okay with it. She said, "You want to go do this show, go do it, because there's not going to be a perfect time." And that's who I got to worry about. I got a wife, I got 2 kids, and I got my in-laws who just immigrated here from Kazakhstan, so they don't got health insurance. And something happens to me, or if I pass it on to them, God forbid. But, they live in a building, in an apartment complex, where there are residents who already have been exposed to COVID-19. I go to the grocery store. You guys walk into Costco. That's a fucking mass gathering right there. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You go to Home Depot, you go to Target, you go to all these places. You're in the environment. You are exposed to this stuff. And I'm not saying, okay, lift the floodgates and just let everybody get back to normal. I definitely think that there's going to need to be adjustments made. But we've kind of, if you've gone to these places, you kind of understand what is expected. And everybody's got to wear masks. You don't wear a mask, you get kicked the fuck out of there. And, no matter how you feel about it, it's just like, give people peace of mind. We're going through a rough time. Just wear the fucking mask and go do your stuff,
Call it a day, yeah.
Yeah, call it a day. Put that hand sanitizer there so people feel safe,
Yeah, I don't like wearing the mask either, man, but I wear it. So
yeah.
Silent Dreamer says, if you ever need anyone for more German, she speaks it so she can help you out.
That is incredible. And that's a hard language to learn too. And it's a very rigid language, and a very rigid culture too. Love Germany.
Man. All right. I've hit that level now. I'm really enjoying this thing.
Yeah, there you go.
He's got a very interesting, obviously I'm not drawing stuff like this all the time, so getting a chance to play around with this costume was very interesting, and like just trying to make it work for how I draw it and but still keep those elements that you have.
I love it, man. It's looking real nice. I mean, this is just beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Danny J. Quick really pointed it out. So, at the end of the season, I'm doing this big piece with all the characters together. But this time I'm trying to smarten up and following the advice of someone who shall not be named, because he said it to me plenty of times. But I'm going to try to piece this Sunsucker together as we go. So I don't know if you saw earlier, I had 2 characters already on there. So I'm kind of mapping out where yours will be at already.
Oh, right on. Okay, cool. Yeah. Dude, so you're building a bigger piece. It's not just like you're drawing out my character and saying, all right, see you next time. You're actually making it part of something bigger, which I think is incredible. I think that's awesome. Great tribute to the independent comic community.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I wanted to come up with something that, everybody could kind of rally behind and like, and be like, oh shoot, look at this.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I started listening to this podcast the other day. It's called History on Fire. And the dude who runs this, he basically he's from Italy, and he's like a history buff, and he's like a martial artist too. And he did. I'm listening to this episode where he talks about gladiators and shit, and like the history of gladiators. And he had mentioned this really cool thing about how he was talking about vampires and what their cultural significance was, that they drank the blood of the living in order to survive. Well, they were the undead, but what does that have to do with gladiators? When gladiators used to fight, they would shed their blood in as light as giving life to the dead, and that turned into, you know, the culture itself. And I think he was saying that it was heavily inspired by the Etruscans, which you know, it all made sense. You know, those areas they heavily inspired one another. You know, it's pretty crazy times, man. We should bring them back.
Sounds like
Everybody who did something bad in their life should have to prove their innocence in the arena. And like, we should just don the old like armor and just put everybody to like the death penalty. It's not entertaining. You know what I mean? It's just like, you're going to kill that guy anyway. Like, take the serial killers and make them kill each other, you know, and give them like axes and like fucking flails and shit. Throw them in an arena, sell them tickets, and you don't need to raise tax. You don't have any need for tax hikes anymore. You really don't. Just
so.
saying.
Are you a fan of The Purge?
I'm a fan of The Purge. Yes. Well, you know, I say it. I say these things in jest, of course. You know, I'm not a fan of barbarism, but you know, is it barbarism or barbarianism? I don't know, but
I think
you know,
barbarism.
Barbarism. I did it. Got it right the first time. Slam dunk. You know. But yeah, you know, it's I don't think that there's I don't think that, you know, it sounds great in words, but then, you know, how's it gonna be in reality? I don't know. Maybe they'll do it. I'd watch it. Would you buy a ticket?
I probably would not buy a ticket, but I don't buy a ticket to a lot of stuff. So
okay, but if it showed up on YouTube and it was free and you could just like watch it for like 5 seconds, like
yeah,
like
I'm gonna check out a YouTube video.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check out a YouTube.
Like BTK and fucking I don't know, some other serial killer are going at it, and there's like the highlight video of like, you know, how it all went down. And I would watch that if it was like a 2-minute highlight. I don't know if I'd pay $29.99 to watch it on, you know, on demand, but you know, I'd do that. Definitely watch those highlights.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'd watch it. just keeping it all the way honest. But to keep us back on track. What is behind? What made you say this is the book that you need to make, man? How did that come about? From like, all right, not only am I going to make a comic book, not only am I going to make a comic book that involves samurai warlords, but I'm going to make one off of true stories.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, and my biggest fault is that I chose something that actually existed that I can never claim true ownership over unless I do something truly magnificent with it. And that my job was hard from the beginning, but really what got me going was the fact that I didn't know what else to do. I mean, if you looked at comics at the time that I got in, and it was around 2004 that I started making comics, and my first book was a superhero book. I wasn't happy with the results.
Whoa! I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You started off with a superhero book.
Yeah. Alvern Ball, who you collaborated with.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's right.
He encouraged me a lot to get into self-publishing, and so I did, and that was my learning ground. I learned a lot about what I learned that I could do it, but I didn't know how to do it, so to speak. So it was a good experience to try it out. I had a superhero comic. It sold fine. I'm sure I could keep selling it, but I just didn't feel like I was really contributing anything to the medium overall, you know, and that's just a personal thing. It's not like, oh, well, that's the case for everybody. It's just, I think when you're really committed to something, it's got to come from inside. It's got to be something that you feel that feels right to you. And that's what happened with Easton Chin. I saw this guy. He was a true, genuine hero. He was somebody that nobody around the world knew about. And I said, you know, it would be cool if I could change that. If I could take a hero that no one has ever heard of before from a country that's far away, some dude who actually existed hundreds of years ago, and make him relevant and make him matter in today's world, that would be quite a feat in of itself. And, you know, so far we've been quite successful with it. I mean, I have a much bigger vision for it. You know, like I remember I was in Kazakhstan in 2013, and my brother-in-law and I, we went to see a movie. I saw this big, huge mural of that scene in 300 when, he's like, "This is Sparta," and he kicks the guy into the well. It was painted, hand-painted mural in a Kazakhstan movie theater from this scene. And what was 300? It was a comic book. And it's just like, where am I? Kazakhstan. I'm like halfway across the world right now. And did the 300 Spartans, they were Greek. They weren't Kazakh. They weren't American. They were from Greece, and what did Frank Miller do? He immortalized, the Spartans with that book. And, were the Spartans always the good guys? No. But in this particular situation, I would say that they were, because, someone was stepping in their backyard and they whooped their ass. That's what you do when someone goes in your backyard. You fucking, show them what's up. So I think anybody can get behind it. It doesn't matter. Even the Japanese, they revere Yusufshin. They have a tremendous amount of respect for him as a commander. They wanted him on their side. They were trying to woo him to come and fight with them, but he was just like, no, fuck you. You guys are putting my people at risk. I ain't gonna just drop all that and join you. So he could have gone for greater glories, but he chose not to. And I think that's what defines a hero, is someone who's actually going to stick behind their people, stick to a cause that they believe in, and see it through.
Man, that's pretty awesome, man. I like what you're saying here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And that was a good question.
Well, it's always interesting to find out what makes you make the choice and to pick the lane that you're driving in right now, and be so committed to it. Because right now you're rocking. This is the only book you're rocking right now, but you said you're working on issue 10 right now. There's not a lot of individual creators that can say they got 10 issues of one book out.
Yeah, I guess that's a way of seeing it too. But I mean, it all depends, right? I liken comics to martial arts a lot. I'm an avid fan of martial arts. I practice as well. And the thing I've learned over the years in my journey in martial arts is it's what you put into it is what you get out of it. Anybody you can pay to get your black belt. That's not a big deal. That's easy. You keep going to classes, you learn the forms, you learn all the things, and that's it. But, and it's a lot of work still, but it's not the same thing as if you're truly committed and you're going in 5 days a week, training your ass off, pushing yourself to your very limits, and, really learning how to fight, how to really get out there and whoop some ass, and how to get your ass whooped in the right way, I guess. Obviously that's not the intent here, but you're trying to make your body and your mind stronger always. That's the part of the journey. You're always taking steps to improve yourself, to learn more and to learn from others. And I liken that very much to comics. I think that there's a huge similarity in it. And how do you become better at it is through practice. It's just constantly getting out there and working. No worries, man. Hey, I got to step away for a minute. I got to get my kid set up for his math class, but I'll be right back. Give me 5 minutes and I'll be right here.
No problem.
All right. Awesome.
think this is the first time that we've added an accessory to the character. This dude's intro into the series is so lit, though, because he comes in with a head. The boy's not playing. Yeah, he out here throwing out heads, machete. Like what? Your boy is very dangerous and serious. I recommend checking out this book. I know a couple of you went ahead. No, I'm still here. I recommend you guys checking out this book. It's good. I've just started reading it and diving into it or whatnot, but I love stories about samurai, and this stuff is always cool. Epic warlords and things like that. So there we go. I think that is all we have here. I think I want to, make his boots a little black. Make that black. Let's see here. All right, making sure. That doesn't look like we have any more questions or anything like that while we're going here. I want to make sure I wasn't missing anyone. Let me get rid of that and that. We're at here. Get some of that. All right. I think it's done. I think it's done. What I want to see is, so it's all on its own layer, right? Let's see, get rid of that. Hop on over to the gallery. This was the duplicate. Select title, duplicate. To him, we're going to copy. We're going to go over here to this one. And we are going to. So if you're watching still, you're getting an inside peek at, how this final piece is going to develop. And this may not be final. Like, I may get this thing to a certain point, and then once I have all the characters on here, I may look at them like, I want to change some of this stuff. But basically what I'm going to do is try to save myself some issues here. Oh, Onrie's back. We got you in there. Hold up. Let me see here.
Back in the
there
game.
We go. Back in the game. Back in the game. So I actually finished it up, but now I'm kind of giving everybody a little peek into how it's going to fit onto here, but I got to make a quick little edits.
And I gotta say, man, I got a couple orders here from Daniel and Haley. Thank you so much, guys. Again, this means so much to me. And Michael, this is the second time I've come on your show and I've actually sold stuff. I appreciate it so much. I wish I could have returned the favor for you when you came on my show. I hope that something big and great comes for you from being on my show, man. It really means a lot to me. This is the second time this has happened for me just coming on your show. That says something. This is a show people want to be on because you're sitting down with the most passionate man in comics. He's so passionate that he's willing to draw your characters for you and have you talk about your stuff and promote. I mean, I don't know how much better that gets. That's passion. That is passion.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I really do. All I'm in it for is here to meet new people and just being able to talk to you on your show and have people see me over there. That's good enough for me, man. If we make sales on it, we make sales on it. But I'm kicking it, man. I'm trying to meet people and have other people meet me.
Right on, brother. Wow. This is just fantastic. Haley, you rock. Daniel, you'll rock. You guys are awesome. You know, Brooklyn, I hope you guys are holding up there all right. You know, hope everything's, you know, in one piece and you guys are safe and everything is all right. And Richmond, Virginia, damn, I was going to go there for a convention in August. I doubt it's going to happen, but if it does, you know, who knows? Maybe I'll end up over there. Richmond, Virginia. Thank you, Haley. Thank you, Daniel.
All right, so that's one side of it. I'll show you your guy because he's done.
Let's see it.
Oh, shoot. I'm thinking the stream is up there. I've been doing this the whole time and nobody can see anything. I'm terrible.
Beautiful. This is beautiful. Now, Michael, you color your stuff too, right?
Sometimes I do. I'm lucky. I have an amazing colorist by the name of Veronica Smith.
She is incredible. She is really damn good.
And then we're going to put your guy there. We're going to shrink him down a little bit.
I love this.
Then we take him to the back. Let's grab our eraser. And then I also send you the image so you can do whatever you want with it.
I think I'm going to make this a Kickstarter exclusive. People who back Isun Shin and, you know, are fans of you with the next issue, with our 10th issue, which is going to be called the knife fight issue because there's a knife fight between Baron Seo and one of our other main characters in it. You know, we'll put this up there. And if you want to include all the, you know, I would love to be able to use the entire piece because it's just this looks like it's shaping up real nice. Who are the other characters in here, by the way?
This is the guy up top. They call him Marvelous. The other character, I have to look. His name is, it's based off of a legend too, and I don't want to mispronounce the name, but he was on the first episode of the show.
Is Ted Sakura's character going to show up in here?
Ted Sakura's on the last pinup I did for the first season. Good,
because I was going to say if you ever take anything that Ted Sakura has created and you combine it with something that I've created, there's a clause in there that he has to purchase dinner for me for a full year, and it's an indisputable clause too. So it's in our
indisputable.
It's in our unsigned contract of friendship that we use to trust each other with. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you at, man, because now we're in the replay mode.
Absolutely. Okay, folks. So you can find me at www.isunshin.com. Pick up the books. I'll sign them, send them out to you just like I'm doing for Danielle and Haley. Anything you buy, I sign and ship it for free. All books, hardcover now, graphic novels. We got 2 hardcovers so far. We're taking 20% off the cover price of both those books. Normally they're valued at $50. You're getting both at $40. You like single issues? No worries. We got 9 single issues, all signed for just $23, free shipping and signing. There you go. Oh, and you can find me on Onward with Onrie Live. That's my free YouTube show on online, and once I get back to the convention scene, I'll continue exploring the story side of it and giving you guys a playback of how things go on the convention front. Hopefully we'll see that in 2020, but there's a chance it may not be until 2021. And if that's how it is, then hey, that's how it's going to be.
All right, man. Well, we got your boy here walking out.
I love it.
He's
Thank you.
Be on there.
Thank you, my man.
You're welcome, man. Your character's the first one to give. We gave an accessory like the headless one here.
I love it, and it's a great. That's how you sell shit, man. I love it. Thank you so much. Being on the show with the most passionate man in comics, greatest honor ever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. All right, so we are done with that. The artwork's finished. I'll make sure you get a copy of that. I'll send you the Google Drive link. Obviously, his website's down below. We've already had people go down there to go buy some things or whatnot. So please go down there and check it out. Let's move my camera over here. Make sure you hit up the website. Tons of good stuff on there. Like I said, I got the hardcover. I was very excited to get that. I'm in the midst of reading it right now. It even came with a bookmark, which was super dope. Oh, that's what I want to tell you, man. I was reading, and then like I was through the book, and I was looking at the top. I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Is this a red string for me to slide in here and keep?"
Yes, there is there is a ribbon inside my books to help you keep your place. But I give the bookmark so that whenever you're reading other comics, you got a nifty bookmark, and this is a bookmark that I carry with me all the time. So yeah.
I'm using the bookmark on the Tap Dance Killer because I got the trade for that.
Oh, that's right. That's good. That means Ted owes me dinner because, my book is being advertised for free in his book. So therefore he owes me dinner. That's just how it goes.
Sounds like a fair trade. All right. So everybody, please give me a follow on Patreon, YouTube. I'm on TikTok. And the Facebook, of course. Patreon is going to be your best bet if you like the way I draw characters and things like that for commissions and stuff. Patreon's gonna be your best bet to come on there and get them and whatnot. I'd like to thank Onrie for coming on here, brother. Had a great time with you.
Thank you.
Slide you into the back room for a bit as we close out the show.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
So be sure to follow us. Be sure to visit shortfusemediagroup.com for awesome comic books, merchandise, t-shirts, and all that jazz, even action figures. You can order off of there as well. But be sure to check us out because if you buy the physical book, you get the digital copy of the book for free. Now, I'll be back here Saturday with Chat and Draw. Tonight, I'm going to be joined with a couple friends. We will be talking about HBO's Watchmen and John Henry, the movie. We're going to be digging into that tonight around 8:15 p.m. Tomorrow, do I have anything tomorrow? Yes, I do. I have a little show called The Good, the Bad, and the Nerdy tomorrow. And we're going to be deep diving on the Scoob, Zack Snyder's Justice League, some awesome movie trailer reviews, and something else that we decided, Christina and I. But tune in and you'll see. Check out the Twitch. Give me a follow. Hey, Kami's back. What's up, Kami, man? Thanks for tuning in with us. You missed the show, but I believe you'll be able to catch it on the replay because it will be up and available on Twitch. Patreon, again, give me a follow. TikTok, I'm known as Most Epic Art on TikTok. It's just like that on the screen right there. Most Epic. Let's see. Most Epic. And then you put art at the end of it. So it's just like that. But thanks again for tuning in. Appreciate everybody. Hope you enjoyed yourself and had a good time because I did. And I will catch you later.